Subscribe to my channel.
Okay guys, welcome to another lesson. This is lesson 28. So guys, before we introduce the lesson, please can we all do this channel a favor by subscribing and helping us to grow. All right, the more you subscribe, the more you like the content, trust me, YouTube gonna recommend this content to more people out there. So please guys, let us subscribe. So for our today lesson, we'll be looking at CSS Grid columns, row, and gaps. All right, these are the three things we are going to be looking at. Okay, so we're going to be looking at CSS Grid, columns, and gap. Whenever we talk about this, we are discussing the vertical line and that of the horizontal line that rode within our columns as well. Now we refer to all of the vertical line as our column and all of the horizontal row as our row. All right, now in further of the lesson, we are going to be understanding it as well. Now the next thing, those spaces that are formed within, between, or that are formed between of our columns, all right, that are formed between our columns or our boxes, all right, or our cell or our grid. Right now, those spaces that are formed between the grid, we have a row gap and we have a column gap. So we're going to be looking at a row gap and column gap as well. So the next thing for today, we will look at this in a practical way. Okay, so to look at it in a practical way, we are going to build our HTML quickly. So we say h1. In the h1, we say the column gap property. Good. Now from here, we're going to add a paragraph tag here quickly, and we say use the column gap property to adjust the space between the columns. All right, good. Now with that being said, the next thing we want to do here is to create a div, and in this div we'll say class and we'll call it container. All right, now we'll come in this container div here, and then we'll create some other divs. All right, so we'll say div 1 here. Okay, now we want to copy this line of div, Control C, enter, Control V, just like that. Okay, we'll have these divs like this. Good. So the next thing we want to do here is to change the numbers that are in this div. All right, good. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Now we have 10 here already, so we have 12. Okay, now for here we want to have 12 divs, 12 inner div, which we refer to as our gray items. So after saving this, I want to quickly open into the browser. When we do that, there's the result we have. All right, there's the result that we have. Good. The result we have, we say the column gap property. All right, and we say using the column gap property to adjust the space between the columns. All right, now we have from 1 all the way to 12. Now the next thing we want to start doing is to work with our star. All right, now we are not going to do this in our external styling, rather we'll do it in our internal styling. Okay, so we'll say style, and in this style place now is where we're going to do understand our column gap property. Okay, so we'll say dot container, and in this dot container here we are going to display it as well gray. All right, now in our first lesson we said that whenever we want to apply grid system to any container, we must know that we should use the display property as grid first, or either inline grid. We said that, all right? So we say column gap. For column gap, we should have 50 pixels, right? Good. After using column gap, now this is the main thing that I want to look at. At first, let us keep column gap SI, all right? Let's keep it SI so we can understand something, all right? So with a column gap, we'll keep it like that. And for here, we want to use our gray dash template column. We'll say auto space auto space. We want to have a 3 good space auto. Now we come here. The next thing we want to do, we want to add background color. We say orange. The background color should be orange, and we need our padding. The padding should be 10 pixels. Good. We'll save this, and then we head over to our browser quickly. When I refresh our browser, this is what we have. All right, this is what we have here. Now the next thing we need to do is to add some other things to this our work. So we're going to come outside of this identical column, and then we'll say that container div. All right, if you don't know why I'm doing these things, that I'm adding 2 different selectors together, you can check our CSS or combinators video that is found within the same playlist that you are currently in. All right, now we say for here we need to add some background color. We'll take background color to just be pound F1. Good. We get outside of this. We want our border. We want our border of 1 pixel, solid black. Good. The next thing, our padding 20 pixel. Good. And the next thing, our text align should be center. Good. After doing this, we want to check it out in the browser. All right, now if I refresh this, voila, this is what we have. All right, so if you see this, all of the spaces in between here on this line, all right, they are so close to each other. Now it looks like a table. All right, it looks like a table. Now let us see the magic for now. Now the magic we want to use for now, we want to come over here, and where we have create this, okay, we want to have our column gap. All right, we say col column dash gap. Good. For column gap, we will say the first column gap should be 50 pixels. Good. When I save this, we come back here, we will see now the gap have been made, or 50 pixel gap have been made in between here. All right, it have been made in between here. Okay, we can do the same thing. Now we have 3 columns. Meanwhile, we'll have gap separating the first column, and gap between the second column and the third column. First column and second column, first gap, and then second column and third column have another gap. So the next thing we want to do, we want to use the next property there. We want to use our row gap. Okay, dash. Now for row gap 2, we need 50 pixels as well. Good, we save it. Now these are the 2 key things that I want us to be looking at. All right, good. Now you see what happened. Okay, 50 pixels all over. All right, now that reduce the gap, for crying out loud. That'll reduce the gap. So for here we'll use 10 pixels, and for here we will also use 10 pixels. We save this. Now if we get back to our browser quickly, you'll realize that it have reduced. Now good, we have 10 pixels all over. Okay, so guys, thank you very much for sticking around. This video was about column gap. All right, we were discussing column gap and our row gap, all right, in CSS. So guys, thank you very much for sticking around. I'll see you guys in our next video regarding CSS Grid layout. Okay, thank you very much. I hope that you guys found the video interesting and helpful. and I hope that you guys will give this channel or the video a thumbs up and subscribe.
Subscribe to my channel.